in the drama department. And I asked the question, can these fears I experience in school help inform my goals as an artist? And so in my research, I look into the traditional sort of hierarchy of how people create theater and exploring what that hierarchy means and maybe if that hierarchy informs some of the fears that we have. And then the second part of my research is going into looking into fear and how we can incorporate that into a creative piece. So 2 years ago, me and a couple of the ladies in the drama department decided to come together and create something out of nothing, ensemble-based. And this, like I said, happened out of frustration for not being cast in shows as an actor or whatever, selfish reasons. But out of that frustration came this wonderful project, and our mission statement is, we are collaborative artists who perform original and adaptive works. We value creativity and experimentation with recognition of form and foundation. We address the need for performance opportunities through which artists at the School of Drama can unite skills and ideas in practice free from the fear of failure. So, that's where we start. So, looking at the traditional model of how people make theater, you can see it's sort of a linear structure. You start with your artistic director of your theater, and with managers and so on, they decide a season of shows, season of plays, and directors are hired for each play. So from there, the director has a vision for what he or she wants that play to look like, how the actors are going to be, and all that kind of thing, and the information and that sort of vision trickles down throughout to the rest of the design team, the actors, the choreographers, stage managers. This is in no way a representation of who's most important, but it is a representation of whose voice is deciding, making the decisions. So here are some examples of traditional hierarchical structured theater companies. Locally, we have Seattle Rep, Intiman, ACT. Across the country, most of Broadway is like this. Oregon Shakespeare Festival, across the pond, Royal Shakespeare Company, Guthrie Theater, Minneapolis, ACT, San Francisco, and then here at the School of Drama, that's sort of, it's more fluid and circular rather than linear. And as you can see, most people have multiple jobs. You have a performer and a stage manager, and a performer and poster designer, and you have props designers and performers, and so on. And all voices are equally important and heard. So here's a comparison of the three models. And when looking at this, you can see that there's the linear on the right, and then the circular on the left. And I think it's really interesting because from the research I've been doing with Fear and the Grind Show, we found a lot of information about how the strength of the structure of the circle. It's a very historically interesting structure, and yeah, and very holistic as well. There are branches